Welcome to Northwest Profiles, a look at people, places, and events of interest in the inland Northwest.
To dream the impossible dream, to fight the unbeatable foe.
You might call him an entrepreneur, a recording artist, a philanthropist. This Spokane native's story has been told many times, yet the fact remains, Merrill Womach's testimony lies in his faith and his courage to pursue goals in life and carry them through to fruition. A product of North Central High, with a degree from Northwest College, a ministerial school in Seattle, Merrill embarked on a career in the God's calling.
And it's an interesting thing because, you see, my mother told me after my dad died in 1963, she told me that she and her and my father had prayed for, before I was born, that God would send him a son that could sing. Because, you see, my father loved to sing. He didn't need a microphone. I think I have a pretty loud voice, but I need a microphone when I'm in a big hall. But my dad, in a congregation of people, he could be heard every place. The only problem was he was never on the right note. And my mother told me after my dad died that Dad and she had prayed that God would send him a son that would sing. And I was the next child born after that prayer, and I've been singing all of my life. So
at the age of 10, Merrill was asked to sing at his first funeral service. And after many years of ministering, at the age of 31, he began National Music Service in Spokane, a business designed to provide music to the nation's funeral homes.
I first did it because I was asked to sing at 2 and 3 funeral services at a time here in Spokane and the number of funeral homes here. And sometimes I would sing at the beginning of one service and run across town and sing at the end of another service, and I couldn't be at 2 at the same time. So I experimented to try to get a quality of recording that would sound like I was right there in the funeral home. Well, we developed our own method of recording my voice. We use a process called musical presence stereo, which is different. We record our music different, record my voice differently for use at the funeral home than we do for the use, for instance, on the records that I have. It's done differently, but it presents a realism of sound like I'm standing right there in the music room in the funeral home singing.
By recording the music in his own recording studio, and by building, installing, servicing, and maintaining all their units, National Music Service has, over the years, built a reputation around the country, which has grown to over 6,000 installations in funeral homes in all 50 states, with Merrill's voice a part of every one of them. While piloting the company airplane on business in 1961, Merrill encountered a snowstorm on his way home from Los Angeles the day before Thanksgiving. After an overnight stay at Beaver Marsh, located about halfway between Klamath Falls and Bend, Oregon, Merrill embarked again on Thanksgiving morning. After taking off, some of the snow from the runway got caught in the engine air intakes and starved them of oxygen.
Managed to rudder it around, but then it was starting to shake, and I knew it was going to stall at any moment. So I picked a spot and flew it down in between the trees to slow me down by cutting off the wings. Well, I hit my head on something when I hit the first tree. The airplane spun around and bounced about 100 yards through the trees, came to rest in a group of pine trees, and the gasoline and board blew up while I was still inside the airplane. I woke up when it was on fire, found my way out of the airplane. Actually, I opened up the door, got up maybe that wide open, reached down to get my seatbelt loose, could not get it undone. I remember grabbing the seatbelt in my hands and tearing it in two so I could get out. I got out of the airplane, looked back and saw this big, huge ball of flame, and that's all I saw for a long time because my head swelled up so badly. It was big as a basketball out here. And I stumbled to the highway by listening for the cars. Got to the cars, and 2 men I'd had a cup of coffee with a few minutes earlier up at Beaver Marsh had come down there because I was over about maybe a mile away from where it crashed. Was about a mile away from the restaurant, but they said they heard and felt the explosion of when I crashed in the trees. So they got in their car, came down and picked me up, put me in the backseat of the car, and started me on the way to the hospital.
After the accident and life-threatening medical problems, Merrill set about the long road to recovery.
I ended up having 60-some operations to replace all my face and my hands. And Dr. Ed Hammaker here in Spokane did the work for me in the Deaconess and in the Sacred Heart Hospital. They replaced all of my face, every part of it. I've had several sets of eyelids and skin on my nose and my lips and chin and on my hand. And I had 2 blood clots during the course of this time that went out of the legs, through my heart, into my lungs. They had to do a vena cava ligation to tie off the 2 major veins. 60, as I say, 60-some operations and as many weeks in the hospital over the period of years. And one of these days, I'm going to take enough time to stop in and get some more work done on my eyelids because they aren't working right. You'll notice the fluid running down my cheeks every once in a while. The eyelids do not take the fluid away anymore because they're focused out rather than inward. So I have to have some more work done on those.
Deciding to build an offshoot service to his company in 1989, he began by producing a tribute video to his mother after her death.
When I had it completed, the emotion, it struck me so much when I looked at it. I showed it to my brother, and he was the same kind of response, emotional response. I said, if that can do that much for us, it can help us that much, if it can make us feel that good about the mother that we had and about paying tribute to that mother, it should be made available to other people.
The video service blossomed, coined the term tribute programs, now made available to funeral homes in 48 states. Recently, Merrill has branched out into another arm of the company called International Video Associates by providing tapes of special events and video letters to loved ones overseas, called A Video Letter from Home. He doesn't make any money on the videos. It all goes into the production costs.
It combines memorabilia, patriotic memorabilia, combines a picture of their home, pictures of the family, and pictures of the area in which they live. And the reason for doing it this way, because I would think that people would be overseas fighting for maybe 3 different reasons: for their country, for their family, and for their home. And this tape combines it all, brings a message from home. It's a personal video letter from home. And then I sing one song on it called God Bless the USA as well. And we've sent a few of them overseas now, and the response I've gotten back so far from the fellows in Saudi Arabia has been just very, very good.
Merrill's drive to succeed in his endeavors has brought about a person who has used his roots in music to help others, whether it be a family of the deceased, weathering their suffering and loss, or that of a speaker, inspiring those around him.
I've spoken for a lot of businesses and inspirational speaking. I've been asked to come as an inspirational speaker for different business groups. And I have an opportunity now to join a group that's traveling around the world, on some inspirational talk. In fact, the group was in Greece today. So if I would have wanted to be with them, I could have been. But I might do that, to share with people that you have your own special individuality. You have something, everybody has something nobody else has. Some special gift or talent or ability or something that nobody else has. Each one of us are individuals. And we ought to use whatever capacity we have.
The unreachable star.
If you have a topic for Northwest Profiles, send it to KSPS TV, South 3911 Regal, Spokane, Washington, 99223. Northwest Profiles is a presentation of KSPS TV.